Well, 7 days have passed and we're back here at Wimborne Road. So the burning question is, how did the Pirates get on in Manchester? Well, the good news is that they took a 49-41 victory up there against the Aces, and as they return here to Wimborne Road for the second leg of this British League Cup match, it means that they take an 8-point lead. Well, we may not have expected that they would have done so well away from home, and I'm sure that the Pirates are pleased with that result. It was in fact a great victory spurred on by Magnus ZETTERSTROM, Davey WATT and Bjarne PEDERSEN, who each scored 11 points.
Yeah, it was a good night for everybody in the team, and a good win up there. I think everybody do a really good job. So
that's something that you think you can emulate again this evening, and now that you've got the measure of the Aces?
Yeah, that'll be hard tonight, you know, and Jason is here to help Aces, but still I think maybe I think in the bottle we are stronger in BELLE VUE. So.
Now, I can't help but notice that you're sporting a bit of an eye injury, which you picked up at Oxford. Anybody that went there will testify to the fact that it was a very nasty accident, and some even said you're a lucky man to be walking away from an accident like that.
Yeah, you know, everything goes wrong in Speedway, but yeah, I think I was a little bit lucky and not get more hurt than I was. So already the day after, you know, I feel me good again and say I was ready for BELLE VUE on the Monday. So.
Well, clearly no bad effects, because Monday you played a blinder, as it were.
Yeah, you know, actually, you know, I think that'll be worse than what it was, but lucky it was going a good way.
It's good to see you in good spirits and have a great match tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. It was good up there. It wasn't one of my best ones, but still good with come out with 11 points because I got a really strong lineup. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that.
It's put the Pirates in great stead for the second leg now. An 8-point victory perhaps might not have been expected.
No, I think riders and even people around thought it's going to be tougher, but we got a strong team, you know, a solid team. So we will get it on today, and hopefully we can get through.
And for you, it must be great to be settling into a heat leader position.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's why I'm here for. I want to do well every meeting and so. And the season I've had over here have been really great, so I'm pleased.
More of the same.
Yeah, good.
Okay, thanks, Magnus.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was all right. You know, we come away with the win, and that was sort of, you know, what we went there for. We want to get through to these finals and hopefully make it all 3 trophies for Poole.
I've got to hand it to you, all credit to you, because you've really come in at some vital matches and been a bit of a match winner for us.
I don't know if I'd say that. It's you know, it's been good. I enjoy riding for Poole, and you know, it's been quite difficult. You know, a lot of the times it's very, very difficult, the leagues that we're in, and now it's coming down to the real hard part of the season, and it's proven to be quite tough for everybody.
Perhaps we were just saying to Magnus that it wasn't expected to get an 8-point victory, but I'm sure that won't make anybody complacent tonight. Oh
no. We've you know, like I just said, we're at the top end of the meeting, the season now, and anything can happen. And especially in Speedway, it's a funny old game, and so yeah, I think you know, we're going to have to be on our toes throughout the whole meeting. They've got Crumpy in tonight as well, and you know, it's going to be difficult the whole time.
Okay, well, good luck tonight. Thanks for what you've done so far.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's good to see all the Pirates actually in good spirits this evening, and they're coming into this match possibly full of confidence. Who knows? But what about BELLE VUE? They've now got to climb over that hurdle of an 8-point deficit. Can they do it here at Wimborne Road?
I think we were obviously looking to come here with a bit of a lead to defend. I think that's why I'm in the team, but it's going to be tough. Poole have got a very good BL Cup side, and I think if we can kind of stay within 10 points, we're doing pretty well.
I know we've spoken before about the Aces this year, and it must have been disappointing for you and for the fans, but obviously the Aces, they see the possibility of perhaps silverware in this British League Cup, and that could be important.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's the story of BELLE VUE's year, isn't it? Like, Dremel couldn't score a point for us for love or money, and he comes down here and like gets a maximum in the final for you guys, and you know, it was unfortunate because on paper we had a relatively good looking team at the start of the year, and again, things didn't work out, but if you know, it's going to be a tall order for us to get any silverware this year, BL Cup or anything, because we've got to make up 8 points on these guys. We go 6 points ahead tonight. We're still 2 down on aggregate, and you guys are going to throw a tactical in. So, you know, it's probably out of our hands a bit.
Okay, well, best of luck, and I know that you're going to serve up some good Speedway, and it's a bonus to see you back here at Poole.
Thank you.
Well, Rory SCHLEIN has been something of a success story, not just for you, but also for the Aces.
Yeah, I've only had 6 meetings this year for Belle Vue, and since I've stepped up to the Elite League, it's improved my riding a lot.
I know that you're piling on the points with Edinburgh, but the prospect is, of course, that you may link up with the Aces for next year?
Doubling up, yes. Not full-time, I don't think so. I'd like to stay with Edinburgh as long as possible and get a lot of Premier League experience. So if the doubling up rule gets thrown out the window next year, I'll be in a bit of bother.
And I guess the British Cup really is ideal for a rider like yourself to come in at this stage, and you have made quite a difference, because I know you've got a paid maximum, I think, all bar 1 point at Kirkman's Hall Lane. I nearly said that.
Yeah, it's alright. I only dropped one when Ryhouse came to Belle Vue, and got about 8 when I went away, so it's alright. I'm trying to help Belle Vue get to the final, but after what happened on Monday, it doesn't look like it.
Well, whatever, but hopefully we'll see you back here at Poole, and wish you good luck tonight. Be good to see you going around.
Thank you.
So for the Pirates then, another final beckons as we head into this match. The prize at stake, of course, is a place in the British League Cup final. Well, we've already seen the Pirates take care of the Elite League. The second part of that dynamic triple is at stake tonight as we go into the next 15 heats of racing against the Aces with that 8-point lead to our advantage. Let's see if the Pirates can do it, and let's join Graham as he brings us up to date with the runners and riders.
Thank you, Nigel, and it's race number 1 with Craig Boyce and Davey WATT for the Pirates. They've won the toss. They've grids 1 and 3. Craig Boyce, it is on the inside on grid 1. Davey WATT goes from a grid 3, and we've got no less a rider than Jason Crump appearing in the British League Cup. Something of a rarity. I don't think that we've had Tony Rickardson in it yet, but we've certainly had Lee Adams. Now we've got Jason Crump here in action. His partner in the yellow helmet, young Aussie in good form at the moment, Rory SCHLEIN. Of course, rides for Edinburgh, and they've recently been very successful in the 2003 Premier League. So pretty interesting lineup of riders here in race number 1. The one thing they all have in common is that they're all Australians. Chilly night here at Wimborne Road. I'm sure they won't mind that too much, especially if they're out in front as the tapes go up for race number 1. And it's Craig Boyce and Jason Crump into the first bend, with Davey WATT on the outside and Rory SCHLEIN coming up on the inside. Jason Crump goes into turn 3 in the lead with Craig Boyce and Davey WATT in the minor positions. Rory SCHLEIN tracing strongly in the 3rd place, trying to get up alongside Davey WATT, who's just struggling to hold that fractional advantage at the moment, and it's all down to whether the Pirates can hold this drawn opening race, with Jason Crump now convincingly out in front, with Craig Boyce tucked in 2nd. Davey WATT is in 3rd place, but Rory SCHLEIN still giving close attention in the back there, with a lap to go then. The yellow flag indicates riders now just less than half a lap to go, and it does look as if it's going to be a drawn race. I mean, Belle Vue would have been hoping for at least a share of the spoils here. That's exactly what they've got, a drawn race to open the proceedings. So with the Pirates holding an 8-point advantage from the first leg of this British League Cup semi-final from the match at Belle Vue a couple of days ago. It's level pegging after 1 race, and the pairing for Poole in this one of Scott Pegler and David Ruud out against Luke Priest and James Wright for Belle Vue. So got Scott Pegler on grid 2, David Ruud in the blue helmet on grid 4. And David Ruud immediately jet propelled from the outside grid there to take a first bend lead, and it looks like it's going to settle down with Scott Pegler battling it out with the 2 lesser lights in the Belle Vue. This is the payoff for having Jason Crump in the team. The 6 and 7 riders, conference standard, Luke Priest and James Wright, are currently trailing Scott Pegler at this stage of the race. Scott Pegler managed just a single point a week ago against Workington in the quarterfinal match here, but already it looks as if he's going to be paid for a win, because he's looking quite comfortable on the track. He's not flying around at 100 miles an hour, he's going very steadily, but he's showing the 2 aces a clean pair of wheels with a lap to go. Of course, we just seem to have lost sight of the fact that David Ruud is well out in front. He's the length of the straight clear of the rest of the riders, and with turn 4 sees a 5-1 to the Pirates, so they take an 8-4 lead. David Ruud the winner. Scott Pegler will be well satisfied with that, tucked in second place. Heat 4 next, and 13-5, 13 points to 5, the Pirates advantage. Interesting race here with Bjarne PEDERSEN and David Ruud for the Pirates in grids 1 and 3. Jason Lyons and James Wright is for the Aces, and the point to make about this race is that if the Belle Vue website is to be believed, there was something of a skirmish between Bjarne and Jason in the match a couple of days ago at Hyde Road, where the two riders had to be separated. I think even John Perrin is allegedly involved in that one. So let's see what happens here in Heat 4 as David Ruud gets out in front, but Jason Lyons tries to inside pass, and Bjarne PEDERSEN and Jason Lyons are in fact right alongside each other, with Jason Lyons just in the pole position there. So out in front we've got David Ruud. Bjarne PEDERSEN is hot on the tail of Jason Lyons. In fact, these three riders, all of course of Elite League standard, and they're all bunched tightly together with half the race gone. This is the stuff, and Jason Lyons challenging David Ruud strongly on the inside there, and that was a very good pass by the Aussie to potentially share the spoils as he comes around with a lap to go. Bjarne PEDERSEN was certainly not in a position to challenge in that one. It was David Ruud who was in the pole position for Pirates, but he was unable to hold off the challenge of Jason Lyons. So it looks like Bjarne is going to have to settle for third place, and maybe he'll have an opportunity later in the proceedings to try and redress the balance there. But that time, Jason Lyons the winner. A drawn race, and it moves the score along to Poole 16, Belle Vue 8. So here we are with Heat 5. 8 points the difference between the two teams, and it's that man number 2 in this year's World Grand Prix Championship, Jason Crump. He's in the green helmet. He's on grid 3. His partner is Rory SCHLEIN, and it's the Aces 1 and 2 Aussie pairing against the Pirates 3 and 4 Swedish pairing of Magnus ZETTERSTROM and Antonio Lindback. I'd be surprised if Magnus and Antonio repeat their previous race and do a 5-1 this time, but in Speedway nothing's impossible. And just to make it even more difficult, they're off 2 and 4, and away they go. And indeed, Magnus ZETTERSTROM does get the jump on Jason Crump, but there he goes back around the outside there. An excellent back straight, and it means that Jason Crump is out in the lead, but Rory SCHLEIN is certainly splitting the two Pirates. Magnus ZETTERSTROM in second place, but I think Jason Crump is looking for his young Aussie partner. Certainly Rory SCHLEIN has got better and better. One of probably the most improved riders of the season, coming up from the Premier League ranks, and he's relegated Antonio Lindback, no less, back to last place. So with a lap to go, Jason Crump comfortably in front, Magnus ZETTERSTROM second, the number 2 for the Aces, Rory SCHLEIN third, and that looks like the way of it as they come around the final turn. And it's going to be a first heat win of the night to the visitors by 4 points to 2, and it takes the scoreline on to Poole 18, Belle Vue Aces 12. It's Heat 8, and as so often happens when a team is in arrears, that's the time they choose for tack sub. No surprise, this is the time that Belle Vue, with John Perrin at the helm, have decided to do that, and in comes Jason Crump in yellow to have an additional race. He'll team up with Rory SCHLEIN, and they've got grids 1 and 3 out against Davey WATT and Dave Ruud. So that is an interesting challenge for the two Pirates, because if Rory SCHLEIN can get a half reasonable start from grid 3, I'm sure Jason Crump will be looking to do a spot of team riding, and so we have an intriguing race in prospect here, and it all depends on what David Ruud, normally a pretty good starter, what he can do from grid 2 to halt the team riding aspirations of the visiting Aces. So starter just trying to get them sorted out. Davey WATT, of course, on grid 4 was the hero for the Pirates up at Belle Vue a couple of days ago. 11-point tally, including a couple of very good race wins. Jason Lyons and Joe Screen amongst his victims, but this time Davey Watt gets an absolutely jet-propelled start, and Jason Crump might have been looking around for his team partner. All he saw was Davey Watt right up his exhaust pipe, and in fact it looks like the Pirates are firmly stamping out any possibility of a race win by the Aces, because David Ruud gets into second place and looks comfortable, and Rory SCHLEIN, whilst he'll keep beavering away, will nevertheless, oh dearie me, that was a nasty tumble by Davey Watt there, really nasty tumble coming out. He found some grip coming out of turn 4, narrowly avoided David Ruud, who did keep control, although has just ended up in the fence just below our camera position here. I've got a feeling that David looks as if he's in one piece, but certainly the same, we have our fears for Dave Watt there. He really did take a nasty tumble just at the wrong time, along the straight. There's no right time for a crash, but that was an awful looking crash, and the momentum of it carried him from just on the exit to the turn to well past the starting gate. He's receiving attention, and whilst David Ruud is still sitting on the track looking a bit dazed, Davey Watt is receiving attention. He'll obviously be the rider to be excluded. Not sure whether the race will be awarded or not yet, but we'll have more news of the referee's deliberations later. But up gets David Ruud, and he gets a lift back to the pits with Jason Crump, and at the moment we're just waiting for any early signs of whether they're going to call an ambulance around for Dave Watt. It is being prepared in the pits now as we speak, but at the moment it's too soon to say whether that is a serious injury or just the usual speedway cuts and bruises. Still some attention going on, so we'll leave the commentary at that and come back with an update as soon as we hear something. Well, the cheer from the grandstand says it all. Davey Watt actually walking back to the pits unaided. He's got a bit of a limp there, but who would have thought? That's just the sort of tumble. It's a bit reminiscent of the injury that Mark Lorham incurred at Sheffield in the Test match series last season. Seem to remember seeing that on Sky Sports, and just on the exit to the turn. It was very, very wet, of course, that day, and Mark sustained back injuries, but I'm very pleased to say that Davey Watt is not looking too bad. He's probably a bit shaken. It will remain to be seen whether he'll be required for his later races. It'd be a shame to be without his services at this crucial stage of the season, particularly in this competition, because he's in such good form, but he won't be taking any further part in that race. And we're still not sure whether it's been awarded or whether there'll be a restart. I think they were just beginning to enter lap 4, so the referee may decide that it could be awarded. More on that later. Well, we're pleased to see Davey Watt walking back to the pits. The referee's verdict is that a restart of the race is required, so you see the other 3 riders coming up to the tapes, and Belle Vue will be getting their heat win after all, and in fact they could even turn the misfortunes of the Pirates in that one into a 5-1, but once again it depends on what David Ruud can do on the first bend. He did take a tumble caused by the avoidance action he took to miss his team partner in that previous attempt at the race, and as a result David Ruud got right out of shape going into turn 1. He took a tumble into the fence, sat on the track for a couple of minutes, but he's jumped up and here he is. We assume not too badly hurt. And Jason Crump it is who gets out of the gate, and this time he's looking for his team partner actively on the first bend, and indeed he lets him around. It's Rory SCHLEIN and Jason Crump, and much as I had anticipated, without the fast starting Davey Watt on gate 4, this time the Belle Vue Aces are going to take a 5-1. David Ruud is in contention, but not looking as if he could challenge the 2 Aussies out in front. And it's going to tighten the match right up to a 2-point margin, as Belle Vue, with just over a lap to go, and Jason Crump doing the team riding bit, dictating the race from the inside. He lets his young Aussie compatriot and team partner do the wide line, and Rory certainly is a much stronger rider than the one we saw here in the under-21 event earlier in the season. He's really flying. No wonder that John Perrin wants to include him for 2004 up at Manchester's Hyde Road circuit, but it remains to be seen whether he's successful. Scoreline now after 8 races with that maximum heat win is 25 to the Pirates, 23 to the Aces. We're on to heat 9, and with the scorelines pretty tight, just 2 points between them, and we've got Magnus ZETTERSTROM and Antonio Lindback for the Pirates this time, Jason Lyons and Luke Priest for the Aces. And Jason Lyons with 2 wins to his credit. He's in the green helmet, he's on grid 1. It'll be intriguing to see whether Magnus and Antonio can give him a race this time. Magnus right over by the fence on the outside. That's the same position that Davey WATT went from in the last one. Got a bit of a jet-propelled start, but it's Antonio Lindback that certainly did get a jet-propelled start. That he absolutely eclipsed Jason Lyons that time, and that's unsettled Jason enough to allow Magnus to come around the outside, and this time it's Antonio who's doing the team riding bit, and the 2 Swedes are out in front of Jason Lyons. Is the Aussie going to surrender his unbeaten tag here this evening? He's hot in pursuit in 3rd place, but he certainly had a poor first bend there. Started really from the fact that he didn't capitalise on his inside gate, and Antonio Lindback jet-propelled reactions there, and with a lap to go, the 2 Pirates are riding alongside each other, team riding style, and they're going to restore the 6-point advantage which had before heat 8, and that'll mean that Neil Miletich can rest a little easier, and that'll bring the crowd to the grandstand to life. 5-1 to the Pirates. It's 30 points to 24 the scoreline. On to race 13. Pirates took a 4-2 heat win in race 12, courtesy of Magnus ZETTERSTROM and David Ruud over Craig Watson. So 41 points to 31 the scoreline, and with 3 races remaining and an 18-point aggregate lead, the Pirates are indeed now safely through to the final of the British League Cup, where they'll race Eastbourne Eagles on a home and away basis. That to look forward to. Immediately though, heat 13 to look forward to, and I'll be very surprised if the Pirates get anything out of this one, with Craig Boyce and Bjarne PEDERSEN facing the top 2 aces of Jason Crump and Jason Lyons. And indeed, into the first turn they go, and it's a pretty even first bend, with Jason Crump out in front, and Jason Lyons taking a superb outside pass that time on Craig Boyce, and Bjarne PEDERSEN trailing at the back. Lyons and Boyce battling it out for 2nd and 3rd, but it looks very much as if the Aces are going to take a 5-1 here in the big heat 13. Possibly could repeat that again in the final race of the evening, but it's too little too late as far as the competition is concerned. It obviously tighten up tonight's scoreline. The margin will be just 6 points advantage to the Pirates, but some consolation to the small band of Aces supporters who have travelled all this way to see their team in action. And Jason Crump takes the checkered flag for his 5th unbeaten ride. 1 bonus point behind Rory SCHLEIN in his 3rd race, and 4 wins, making a total of paid 15 so far, and still 1 race remaining. We may have been able to predict that sort of outcome from this evening's race meeting, but equally the Pirates will be more than happy to take the overall match result, and look forward to the final. So on to the nominated riders, heat 15, and for the Pirates, Craig Boyce and Bjarne PEDERSEN. So although Magnus ZETTERSTROM top scorer on the night, he's standing aside in favour of his 2 fellow heat leader Pirates, skipper Craig Boyce and Bjarne PEDERSEN. They've scored 6 and 7 respectively. Some way short of the 2 Aces nominations for this race. It's no great surprise that we've got Jason Lyons and Jason Crump in. So lining up from the inside, we've got Craig Boyce on 1, Jason Lyons in the green helmet on grid 2. Alongside him we've got Bjarne PEDERSEN in the blue helmet, and on grid 4 in the yellow helmet we've got Jason Crump. So 44 points to 40 the scoreline in favour of Poole, and Aces could square the proceedings with a 5-1 here. Let's see if the Pirates can split them as they go into the first bend with Jason Lyons and Bjarne PEDERSEN. And whoa, that's pretty tight up the back straight there with Bjarne PEDERSEN on the inside line. Got Jason Crump back in 3rd place. He's being held at this stage. Bjarne PEDERSEN and Jason Crump battling out in front. Jason Crump looking for an opportunity to pass Bjarne, and he's right on the tail there, but there's no gap at the moment, and Bjarne PEDERSEN keeping it pretty tight and blocking off the inside pass potential. So Jason Crump going to try the outside instead, and with a lap to go, the Aces holding 4-2 heat win. But all importantly for Poole, Bjarne PEDERSEN's tucked in 2nd place, and if he can hold that round the final turn, Pirates are going to win the match by 2 points. Across the line in 1st place for Belle Vue is Jason Lyons, Bjarne PEDERSEN 2nd, and it was Jason Crump in 3rd place. It's a 4-2 to the Pirates, who win by 46 points to 44 and safely through to the final of the British League Cup.
So in the end then, the Pirates were able to coast to a comfortable victory, just 2 points in the end, but that was enough to add to that 8-point advantage on aggregate and to give them a 10-point lead overall, and that puts them safely into the final. Their 3rd final this season. We've already seen them, as I mentioned at the start of this match, in the Elite League final. They won that, they're in the Knockout Cup final, and now they're in the British League Cup final as well. What a fantastic end to the season we've got in prospect. Keep watching Pirate Videos, we'll be there to see it all. So now the Pirates are established as the Elite League champions of 2003, and they've also made it to 2 other major finals. Let's take a moment now to reflect on how the fans have received the news of this remarkable year.
Well, absolutely superb. Matt Ford said we'll win it, and we have. Brilliant.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They've been really good. They've had a lot of injuries and a lot of problems. They've still come through it. Absolutely brilliant.
Been absolutely fantastic. They worked hard and they fully deserve winning the championship in the way they did. It was style all the way.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely wonderful, especially for Poole, yeah. So everybody's rode well, and so far they've been injury free at the moment, haven't they? So hopefully they can overturn Coventry tonight with a bit of luck.
Brilliant. What more can you say? I mean, it's proved the point. You've got 2 world-class heat leaders, and being top heavy, it's proved we can win things, you know, because we've got good bottom end riders. But what more can you ask for? Elite League, possibly a Knockout Cup, and hopefully the British League Cup. The treble is what you want, really. So, yeah, I'm very pleased. Absolutely brilliant season.